Hey everyone, welcome back to Brian's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. I hope everyone is having a good week and looking forward to their weekend or whenever you might happen to be watching this video. Today's video we are going to be talking about a tragedy that occurred last month when 3 hikers disappeared on the Utah-Arizona border in an area that's known as Buckskin Gulch. Of course, I'm going to have some maps up. Let's take a look at the first map just to show you where in the United States this is. So as you can see, it is right on the border of Utah and Arizona, sort of right in the central area. Buckskin Gulch is a very popular 16-mile hike running through these giant towering sandstone walls, or canyons if you will. This area, normally it's a typically dry area, at least this hike is. There are often pools of water, some that hikers actually have to wade through. This is based on reports given by people that live in and around the area and have a lot of experience with Buckskin Gulch. As we all know though, this winter in many areas of the United States, especially the West and the Midwest, has been slammed with all kinds of snow and wet weather, heavy rains. This caused a huge problem in the middle of March when this occurred. Now these 3 gentlemen, they were doctors. As always, these are just pictures in and around the area of Buckskin Gulch. Here's another map. These 3 doctors were from Tampa. 2 of them were familiar with this area. They left on a Friday to start this hike. By Monday morning, they still hadn't returned. One of the spouses of the 3 men contacted the Kane County Sheriff's Department and reported them missing. The Department of Public Safety was well aware of these flash floods that had occurred. In the last couple days, they had already rescued 11 people out of this canyon. I mean, can you believe that? It's crazy. And you can see how devastating that would be if you were hiking through there and these flash floods came. This is a picture of 2 of the gentlemen that unfortunately lost their lives in this flash flood. This is the 3rd doctor who was actually able to be rescued, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Also some safety tips, because this season there's going to be a lot of snow melt, a lot of crazy flash flooding. This is some more pictures of the area where people camp. A gentleman by the name of David Rankin, who grew up only 10 minutes away from this Buckskin Gulch and is an expert on these flash floods. He's been studying them for over 20 years. He says that it's almost like being in a cave, quote, that doesn't have a roof. He is also quoted in saying that it is basically the last place you'd ever want to be caught during a flash flood. It is one of the most dangerous slot canyons in the US, if not the most dangerous. He is quoted in saying that because one of the most dangerous things about it is if you do get stuck or if you do get trapped there, there are very few access points for extraction. Based on reports by the National Weather Service, they say that hikers, campers, anybody that's going to be out should be expecting more flash floods than normal due to the enhanced runoff from snowmelt from this historic snowpack that they've had across basically all of the West Coast, not to mention all the spring storms that'll be coming. In this case, Glenn Merrill, the National Weather said that a spring storm that brought a half an inch to an inch of rainfall coinciding with the snow melt caused this crazy flash flood, which unfortunately led to the demise of 2 of these hikers. The 3 men were hiking together. They were roughly 10 miles into the canyon when they got caught up in this flash flood that started on Saturday, March 11th, 2023. It was very, very deep water. The water was moving so fast that it just carried the hikers all the way through the canyon, thus getting them separated. One of the hikers injured his leg during this time. 2 of the hikers were able to find each other after they had gotten swept away in the flood. They needed to find their friend. However, the man with the injured leg didn't feel he could move forward, so he waited there and rested while the other man went looking for help. He was able to make it a few more miles down the canyon before he himself had to stop because he was just exhausted. He was freezing, banged up himself from being tossed around by the flood waters. He found a little sandbar which he sat down on. At this point, search and rescue was in full-scale operation. They had a helicopter up that had been searching. The helicopter was able to spot some debris. This was a Department of Public Safety helicopter, the state of Utah. They had been out searching for the last 2 days. On March 13th, they spotted some camping and hiking debris, which I'll have a picture of here. They were able to circle around. Now, I'm going to have some pictures of the actual footage they took and some of the audio so that you can hear and see. I know it's loud and kind of hard to hear, but basically you can see how difficult it is for these pilots and search and rescue people. Now, this was when they had found Ed Smith. He was the hiker that had found the sandbar. He was sitting there. He was waving for help. They were able to hoist him to safety and take him to the hospital. He, of course, told them that his other 2 friends were still missing. Just remember that these search and rescue, whether they're pilots or on the ground, they're risking their lives every time they go out and try and save people. At this Buckskin trailhead, they have warnings about flash floods with all the trail maps in the area. They have various warnings. You never know when they could possibly happen. This year especially, though, and this isn't fear-mongering, it's just a precaution because of this snow melt. All of the record snowfall amounts that so many states experience, now coupled with spring rains, just urging hikers, campers, any outdoor people to just take extra precautions. Make sure you read the weather reports, have the proper gear, maybe avoid situations that are more susceptible to flash flooding, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, in this case, the search and rescue teams continued to search for the other 2 doctors that had gone missing in this flood. Tragically, though, after more than another 16 hours of searching, on March 14th, they found the remains of the one hiker that had gotten separated from Ed Smith, the man they rescued. Then the next day, they found the remains of the last man of the group, Dr. Jeffrey Watson and Dr. William Romanello. They were apparently 2 very, very well-respected doctors in their practice. Dr. Watson had graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy. He was an orthopedic surgeon. He was awarded the Outstanding Instructor for the Air Force Survival, Evasion, Resistance, Escape course. All 3 men worked at the same clinic. They were very highly respected. They were friends. This is just a terrible tragedy all around. Ed Smith, the one survivor, he served with the Air Force for over 20 years. I can't imagine what he's going through, losing 2 of his good friends. This whole thing, they could no way have known that there would have been this flash storm that came up out of nowhere, and then on top of it, because when they left, the weather conditions were good. The conditions on the ground were dry. It was just one of those things that so many things came together that caused this terrible tragedy. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, the search and rescue and the Kane County Sheriff's Office got more than 40 calls that same week for people needing to be rescued, and they rescued 11 people from Buckskin Gulch that week. My thoughts and prayers go out to all 3 men's families, all their loved ones, all their patients, everybody that knew them, all their coworkers at the practice. My thoughts and prayers go out to you, your families. To Ed Smith, my thoughts and prayers go out to you. I pray and hope that you heal and find peace and closure. I am so sorry for your loss. I also wanted to send my thoughts and prayers and thank you to all the search and rescue people that helped rescue Ed and all the other people that they rescued that week. All the search and rescue people, not only in the United States, but around the world, for all their efforts and risking their lives to save others. As we come into hiking, camping, and outdoor adventure season, if anyone has any questions, you can always ask me or people in the comments section, or reach out to people on various groups. I just want everyone to always be as prepared as they can. I'd love to hear about your upcoming adventures or any plans that you have this summer, whether it's hiking, camping, or any type of adventure that you might have going on this summer. Definitely leave me a comment or a message. Thank you all for watching. As always, I really appreciate all your support, all your comments. I love hearing from you. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the background music. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with me to the end. I really appreciate all your support. For those of you that have made donations, for those of you that do want to make a donation, it really does go such a long way. My PayPal and Venmo, all that information is always in the description. I thank you for all your support. Every comment that you leave, I read, even if I don't respond back. I really appreciate all your feedback. I'm really trying to get caught up on various videos that I've been researching and going to present to you. This weekend I will have another Brian's bedtime story video because I know I haven't done one of those in a while, as well as I'm working on some other missing hiker cases that I will be posting in the next week as well. Of course, if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Again, if you have pictures for calendar submissions, my email for that will be in the description. I always love hearing from you guys. I haven't been able to go through my recent emails this week because I've been working on taxes, which you all know can be crazy. That said, I will get to reading those emails this weekend. I really appreciate, again, all your support, all your feedback. Thank you all so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.